Well, indeed. Greetings, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of the Inworld Review, the show where we look at arts, people, and destinations on the Hypergrid. And the Hypergrid, for those of you who don't know, is a magical system that connects virtual worlds together on the provision, of course, that they're all authored in the very common platform, which is the open source open simulator platform. If you remember the likes, 21 years old now, of Second Life, for example, of a distant cousin, really, you can imagine Open Simulator, but the difference is instead of a walled garden with just one big world in it, the Hypergrid has thousands of different worlds, and you can jump between them with the same account, the same viewer. You can use the tools to communicate, message with people throughout the whole complex of grids, with the sole exception of a few educational grids, which are actually shut down from the Hypergrid for various reasons. Kids who are students are underage, that kind of thing. So, that's the state of the art, so to speak. My name is Mal Burns, and I'm your chief host here. I've been doing this for a long while now.
That's true.
I haven't dropped dead yet, but when I do drop dead, I think it'll be down to my co-hosts here. I will introduce my co-host first of all. On my left-hand side is Tosha Tyran. Welcome, Tosha.
Hi, everybody. It's really nice to be here again.
And nice to have you here too. And on my right-hand side is the right-hand man. He of the knobs. Always fiddling with the knobs, but he also enjoys sitting. So he is practiced in the art of sitting, I guess.
That's right.
It's none other than James Atlloud. Welcome, James.
Oh, thank you, Mel. Everybody needs to have a speciality. Oh, I don't have my mouth moving. Test. No. Oh well. No mouth moving from James. But thank
somebody
you.
else that doesn't have our mouse moving. I better zoom into my other screen here and check. Am I flapping?
You are.
I am lip flapping, and so is Tosha, and so is Laurie. Okay, and welcome her now. Actually, we'll be talking to her before too long. Our guest this week is Laurie Destiny. Welcome, Laurie.
Yeah, thank you. Hello to everybody.
And and a quick word: if you got the alert for this show, it probably hasn't arrived yet. I don't know, but if you are watching live via YouTube, we do have the chat window there, so you can comment. Oh, and my thanks also to I haven't got his name on screen, unfortunately, but somebody emailed me via YouTube saying they wanted me to do a show on mesh avatars, and I took that into account. It won't be for a few weeks yet, but as soon as I can find somebody to do that along with me, we will, because it fascinates me too. I have to have a little dig at a certain somebody's friend, so I just think it's sweet, actually. But we've often wondered about Philip Rosedale, the founder of Second Life, not really knowing his own platform very well.
Oh my gosh, that was something.
He published a video in midweek, and Strawberry Sing, or Strawberry Linden issue now, but it was basically there to try and help him. He was in Firestorm for the first time and loving it, but they were trying to change his avatar, and nobody knew exactly how to go about it. Strawberry, who was meant to be advising him, I'm not sure, I don't know. And then Philip was saying, well, I want a mesh. And I want my lips to flap. Yeah. I want my arms to flap. I just burst out laughing because, of course, I was watching a playback. I couldn't intervene and say, actually, it's bloody simple, mate.
It's not easy. Not easy at all.
No, I know, but when you've actually made them, because he did actually make a point of saying, well, when I made this, my arms moved and my lips moved. So it's come a long way since he did it. Anyway, that's an sort of aside, but we have all cons like that working perfectly well here in OpenSim. Anyway, so let's get on with the show. I'm going to start off with actually it says Hypergrid around up there, but I've just a couple of other things to show first, actually. One is we'll come to that in a minute. In fact, actually, this is the only offbeat one. Wolf Tech which is a sort of technological education region, WOLFTEC on Wolfgrid. That's wolf-grid.com. It's called for presentation and posters because they're apparently doing a learning conference about subtitled Digital Frontiers in Virtual World Education. More than that, I'm not actually sure. The poster here hasn't actually got a date on it, which is unfortunate, but a little bit of presentation news for you there. Where's the other? Isn't there another snip? I think there's another snip. No, it's that one. Oh, no, here it is. Okay. Coming up very soon. No, we lost the edge of this one, but never mind. The OpenSim Community Conference is, I think it's 7th and 8th, or is it 8th and 9th of December? It's in 2 weeks' time anyway. We will be having a show about it next week, 1st of December. And we will be having a week off from this show so that we can actually be at the conference the weekend after that. And if we do the thing on Mesh Avatars, it will be the weekend after that, maybe. Who knows? Too much. That's a bit in the future.
I put the website link in the lower third.
In the lower third, that's lovely. Yes, I can never. I can remember it now, but I forget it when I'm reading it out. Okay. So that was fine. Safari Roundup. There was something else I was going to mention. Oh, yes. Yeah. I'm going to do this now before we start, I think. The other thing, of course, coming up and which we're organizing and taking, submissions for already is HIE, the Hypergrid International Expo. Now, Thursday and I are going to be doing, and we're joined by James, in fact, are going to be doing a talk on this on Saturday lunchtime at the Open Simulator Conference. And I've been, Leah Lobo has sort of hijacked me to sit in with her on what I think is a storytelling presentation, basically. And that's on Sunday. So having a week ago, I thought I wouldn't be doing anything this year. Now it happens I'm doing 2 lunchtimes after all. Anyway, meanwhile, for HIE, which is in April next year, this is a little ad for getting a booth, and it's narrated by somebody whose voice may sound a little bit familiar.
Park. Location. The Expo Park is around one side of the auditorium. There is a long winding path through it. The booths will be placed along this path.
Oh.
It got quiet.
Yeah, I know. It sort of stopped, didn't it? Oh, I've been having a lot of. Okay, it doesn't. Some of my videos have been playing up a little bit recently. I did check the feature ones today before I started, so hopefully that's okay. One of Laura's stopped halfway through, but I remember that from before. Right, okay. We'll fix that. So I've got a good copy for next week at least, because we'll be showing it, and up until the event. Okay, right. So moving on to our subjects for this week and going with the Safari Roundup. Safari isn't actually on at the moment, but we have reports from Thursday Ember on her blog at HG Safari. That's all one word. .blogspot.com, and she posts a few interesting articles every week. And when the Safari is on, that includes right up at the 2 Safari destinations of the week. No actual Safari destinations this week, although we're actually going to revisit one in a little while. But we have some new blogs. One is this lady is Tana Wells, and she does a lot of building and mesh stuff and mesh clothing and things. And I had her on this program a long time ago, and I saw her a couple of weeks ago and asked her if she'd come back, and she said, "Oh yes, I'd absolutely love to, but you'll have to wait a few months because I haven't finished my thing yet."
Yeah, but you can already go there and
course you
look through some things, and she really has some lovely things, like Thirsa said in her blog that finally things for the ladies that don't look so hoary.
Like ballerinas. Yes, indeed. But she made some wonderful stuff way back when, and not just clothes. She did a whole load of interesting things. So I got the impression she is working on, a big project. So, obviously her bubble. Oh, that's her region, of course. Bubbles. BUBBES. I can't read it that way. It's called with a Z on the end. That's right. So bubbles, plural, then a Z. Okay. So yeah, these are just some pictures. There's a talk of her region to accompany the interview. And the interview is on the site I'm actually looking at, which is at hgsafariblogspot.com. And pictures can say a lot, but sometimes, that's a pretty good capture of a GIF of a Animesh doing its thing, sowing the seeds and whatever. And there they are all meeting. There we are. That's Tana. So this is showing off her safari. Another, definitely all safari costume there. And it's a long shot of, I guess, the region they were looking at then. Okay, so moving on. That was on Monday. On Tuesday, we had a post about tabula rasa, which is a blank slate, a concept as ancient as Aristotle and modern as an empty sim. Well, something like that. Here are the pictures she took of this. It's obviously quite like that. It's obviously quite a small region, but fairly densely packed. It looks like there's a lot in there to wander around in, which I kind of like. I don't think I've been to this one, so I should follow up this myself. Nice picture there. Ooh, a horse. No less.
Donkey.
Donkey, yes. I stand corrected. Never could figure out the difference. All right. Well, I do. And a dolphin, not to be confused with a donkey. Right. Very good. And a gallery. We know all about galleries here, don't we? And another bit of the gallery. Now, the next blog here. Oh, it's already loaded, right? This is unusual. I think this is one of the people that's taking a stand at the HIE. But this is actually a Japanese region. And so I went and interviewed the chap. There he is. Without checking the blog, I haven't got the name. There's a bit of the constructs from it. That reminds me of a bit of the Apple TV series, Silo, it's called. Where there's a future civilization are literally living in a giant silo that goes down, 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 and down. And the new series has just revealed that there's a neighboring one too. Right, that's fairly obvious. That's that nice trick that Tosha pulled for this safari anniversary some time ago, last year, where she had masses of artworks in the sky. It spent all day just flying in the sky, going to each one. All right, another long shot. Somebody likes their particles there. There he is in front of you. I was looking at this picture and I couldn't actually figure out exactly what the Eiffel Tower has to do with Japan. But then again, there must be an explanation somewhere. Maybe it's a Japanese chap who likes building Paris or something. I don't know. We'll find out. But all this, you can get more information by going to Thursday's blog. So it's hgsafari.blogspot.com. And as I said, and the final one here, mesh mode. It's got a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Mesh mode. Yeah. Oh, I'm moving into mesh mode. Yes. Peter Rosedale tried doing that.
Oh, my.
Mixed success, apparently. Anyway, mesh mode it is. Okay, I better not start saying that thing. It might get back to. Okay. Now, this picture is of the lady sitting on our settee as our guest today. This is Laru Destiny.
Before we get into talking with Laru, maybe I could mention something.
Yeah.
Shirana Ochimochi, I guess most of you know her. She's a Spanish artist. And I and Emil Jennings, an American, we have been starting a group to English chatting because there are very many people in OpenSim that do know English writing pretty well, but they never have a possibility to talk, or they're afraid to talk. So we have decided to get together every Monday at 22-hour European time, and we just talk English. And we are trying to, well, find some topics to talk about or read something like that. So if anyone wants to join, welcome. And it is on Craft World. And wait, I'll put the region is called Karnak, Karnak. It's on
All right.
Craft World and easy to find.
All
And
right.
there you find us from 10 to 11, 11:30 each Monday evening.
Cool.
Let's make up for next week a picture screen to advertise that we can run each show.
Okay. I can do that, yeah. I have one.
Whether it's you
I,
or
I was looking for it and I couldn't find it.
okay. I forget whether it's you or
it.
Laurie. Either you or Laurie mentioned to me in the week that they've been talking with Tina Bay because she's acquired one of the translators, and I was getting on quite happily with it. So I'm rather hoping that we get. I've been trying to get Tina on here for a while, but maybe we could actually get her to be here in World, and she could talk via the Inworld translator, and then we could, reply and engage with her that way. But before I do move to Laurie, in fact, I've got this was a slideshow that Cherry Mango put up on Facebook, basically featuring Tina's region. Now, we might have some more film of this later, depending on how time goes, but if not, at least it's a teaser for another show. So this basically is Tina Bay's work, and it's a massive region. And these are just some stills that Cherry thought were, the arty kind of things. But Tina has a particular kind of magic, doesn't she, Tosha?
Yes, she does, and I really love her work because she has such a way to show her. She does such fine work, she's such an artist, she's so much creativity, but she always shows something which I'm delighted personally about which I'm very much delighted. Oof, I'm getting into a strange sentence here. And she lets us take part of her internal child. I don't know if you know this expression. It's from psychology.
Inner child, yeah, inner child.
Yeah. Inner child, it is called. Yeah. Okay. And I love that very much. This that she is so freely sharing it with us, and it makes beautiful things. And I would very much like to talk with her about it. And if it's not possible for language reasons here on the show, then I've thought that I could maybe talk with her and have her words translated then talk with her in Spanish and
yeah, I think if she's comfortable with the Spanish translator, it would be if she was in the studio here, not speaking but chatting. We could repeat her questions or answers. And
okay, that could be a possibility too. Yeah.
It wouldn't be. We've done that with other guests, as you remember. We're using YouTube chat, but of course that doesn't get over the language problem. But if she did it here with the translator on, then we should be okay. So yes, that will be fun to do. But yes, as you go, and Laurie, Tina well as well, don't you? So you're familiar with all this.
Yeah, I was at an exhibition, the opening, and I played some music. I was the DJ of the evening. Yes, and we had a very nice party, and I got to know Tina, and she is really a very lovely person.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. I know her for quite some time now, and happily I can talk Spanish with her, and I really got to know that she's just a very lovely person.
Do you speak Spanish, Laurie?
No.
No, yeah, but you just got to know it. It's funny. I on various safaris and things where she turned up. She's somebody I always recognise. Probably second only to Tosha, who I always know because of the hair. But there's something about Tina's style of dress as well, where she's always wearing a sort of
Yes, you can always recognize her.
yeah. Not
Yeah.
always the same dress, but of a certain ilk.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. She only changes small things.
Yeah, that sounds a familiar story. I must change the hat next week. Yeah, but the region, this region is absolutely colossal. I mean, most of it is a great big chunk of water. I didn't actually figure out how many sims it is. It looks like a 2x2 or bigger. But it feels very spacious. But then when you come into the various different areas, you've got these sort of still, I can't forget the name. What's the name we use? A still scene, which is sort of just being framed there, and there's sort of meaning in it. For example, there's a lot of third world refugee type characters in one bit, and there's a lot of expression in them. This is more utopian, isn't it?
I think of the word vignette.
Tableau.
Oh, tableau. Yeah.
Tableau is the word I was thinking of. Yeah. Well, because you can just park your camera there and you don't have to move it or have movement to actually see what the tableau is expressing. So a lot of things like that. And then some very, it's almost like she ran out. She didn't run out of places on land to do constructions, but then she moved into the air and there's other stuff up there and stuff like that. But hopefully we'll see her before. I took quite a lot of film for a future show here, and I will probably show a little bit of film of this moving, as it were, my entry video, as it were, near the end of the show. But this is just a little teaser. And as I said, these photos were actually taken by Cherry Mango and posted on Facebook. And Cherry, of course, herself is another sort of illustrious, I don't know the word, one of the major artists at on OpenSim, and she's always at HIE too, so we get lots of special performances from her there.
Oh, and last week or the week before, she published on Facebook that she's gone to real world with her expositions. That means that she really has an exhibit and she sells stuff now that she came up with in virtual worlds, and now she has gone real world with it. I think that's quite fantastic.
Yeah, I saw some pictures. I didn't want to use them because they were. I think she posted a real world exhibit, and I don't know whether it was her or a picture of somebody else with it, and so I didn't want to use them because I wouldn't be able to truthfully tell you what they were. But yes, it did look. She'd like a large exhibit. She was involved with that. Yeah, so very good. Okay. So now to get back to where we were.
Yeah.
That was the. Oh yeah, Destiny. Right, one more slide. Here it is. Right. Okay. Before we go any further, basically, this is an advert for an OpenSim Film Festival, and the deadline, as you can see here, is 28th of February next year. But I'm going to flip back now to Thursday's blog. Here's a picture of Lauru, as you can see. And here indeed is the poster for that OpenSim Film Festival. And so we know what we're doing. I shall actually go to the blog itself. So basically, this was during the week, wasn't it? Thursday interviewed you, Lauru, about the film festival.
Further, she interviewed me, yes.
Yeah. So, obviously people can go and read this, but maybe tell us in brief the idea for this. I mean, is it, are you thinking in terms of machinima type films or a wider berth of things to do with OpenSim or virtual worlds generally, or what's the brief, so to speak?
Yeah, first I like to say it's really fantastic that we can see so many art here in OpenSim.
Yeah.
I think the last years many people in many grids were very active, and this is incredible. It's always a wonderful journey, and as you told, it's people showing their inner child, or people showing their thoughts and everything. And then one day I looked in Facebook, and I saw that people showed videos, little videos they made, and so I got the idea: why don't we make a video, an OpenSim festival, and not only for German-speaking people, but international. And that's wonderful. I can be here because this is the right platform, so I can tell everybody, please come and contact me and take part in this OpenSim film event. I wrote in Facebook a little bit about how long the film should be. 6 minutes. I said it should be a music videos and keep it simple. It's not important that it is very a big art film. Show your pictures, show your works. And we will show these videos in our grid, in our Destiny. We'll
Yeah.
put media on a prim, so people can come by and watch films, and must not see all films. They can choose which film they like to see. And we will have a big celebration after. And a big discussion was, people said, you need a jury. And I decided, no, I don't want
okay.
any jury. I don't. I want that people feel encouraged to show, and it's always the same. The first who get a prize or something like this are happy, and the other ones are disappointed. Why should I organize an event
Yeah, it's,
for people who are disappointed after?
Yeah.
I've actually been on panels, to judge things like this. There's been life days with Orange and things like that, and you always wonder a bit, why did I get chosen to be on this? And are people going to come back to me because it didn't win? Or even though there's 12 people on the jury, it does seem a bit, especially when it comes to creative things. I mean, art and things like that is down to interpretation. What makes it for one person doesn't for another.
Yes.
And it must be the same with the films, in general, or films of that art. It's sort of, I don't think there's really any good criteria to decide, what is better than something else. Unless, of course, you find something that's so appallingly horrible. But no, I do think an exhibit rather than a competition is the difference, isn't it? One's an exhibit, one's a competition. So
Yeah, so no competition. And because music and pictures are a language which is international, everybody can take part.
that is so funny. I was working through some notes for Thursday on this thing we're going to be talking about at OSCC, introducing HIE, and beyond having all the different languages and stuff, which of course, the main thing is we've got a lot of music and we've got a lot of visuals, and in fact they are languages that everybody understands, as you say. Whatever. If a talk is in French, it's in French, and all we can do is give them a translation. But if it's music or art, you don't need a translator. It speaks for itself. So
Yes, only see and enjoy. And I think, we don't need a jury because all these people will be winners because they were brave enough to show what they made, and they will get compliments, I'm very sure.
now, one thing you do point out in this article, actually, and that is, you say important note, YouTube sometimes bans movies for copyright music. I don't know, there's only sometimes about it. They do it more and more. But as you say, you can get free music from YouTube and all over the web that you can use, but you really do need to be careful, especially nowadays, of playing copyright music. For example, as you know, on this show, I will actually show little YouTube pieces, that I picked up during the week to just kind of re-show on this show, and I have to show them silently, even if they got music behind them, because frequently they're a breach of copyright, and it would be even more of a breach of copyright if I then went and used it too. So we go to destinations like Tosha was saying last week. And we go somewhere and the sound effects and the music is absolutely lovely, perfect and fitting, but we don't know that we can use it, and it's a lot of work to chase up copyright and things like that.
And yes, and now also we have these AE programs, so people start making their own music. And for example, for one video I made, I asked a composer, and he said, yes, you can use it, and I had no problem after this. This is also a good occasion to show perhaps your own music you made.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If people can actually sort of say that it's their own music or it's with permission and stuff, fair enough. I mean, even big people, I mean, there's a load of very psychedelic videos I was showing recently, and of major tracks by the Pink Floyd, and Pink Floyd actually were so impressed by the visuals they gave permission, so it's not it's not unheard of that you just have a little line saying music, courtesy of blah blah, but think about it basically, because your film is your copyright and you can share it, but do remember your film is sometimes got other copyright elements inside it. Now, you also mentioned something a bit confused me at the topic. You say you're going to use a script that inserts part of the URL of a video with a YouTube URL, but you don't know about Vimeo. What you mean by that?
I have a script and I can put in an embedded code, and unfortunately I only know to get this embedded code from YouTube videos.
I see. Yeah,
and so you click on this media and on this prim or something like this, and then you can look at it.
And it's basically a YouTube URL. There's no real script.
This was also a big discussion, that people said, why can't we use Vimeo and all these other platforms? And I said, sorry, my skills are limited, and this is something.
Actually, you will be surprised. Vimeo is even easier than YouTube. Basically, it works the same way. You can get an embed code for anything you watch, or you can get direct video link without an embed code. And also, Vimeo usually lets you download quite happily if you want. YouTube has become a money grabbing machine, using other people's work, of course. Vimeo is actually very easy, and I frequently post into blogs and things, video addresses, and it just takes people straight to the video, just like YouTube does. So you can put them on a prim. It's a different access device, obviously.
I have to learn, but I think in this case, this is set. So I said it's YouTube, but what I also think is it's not an Art Destiny event. I don't want to have every year, every 2 years, a film event in Art Destiny. No, this is an idea, and I try it out as good as I can. And then please, next year or the next years, please make these events a film event.
It's a good idea. I think it's a really good idea.
Okay. Well, if you want to hear more about this, unless there's anything else on this subject, you can you can contact Laurie, of course, herself. We have a little third, James, don't we, up of her at the login for Laurie's region, where the gallery is anyway.
For the gallery, I have that.
Yeah. Okay. And of course, you can go to YouTube and just which is the best place for people to get information from you? Not necessarily submit a film at this stage, but get an idea. Is there a particular address you prefer people to contact you at?
In Discord, you can reach me very well. This is no problem. I have to look my. I will now. When you go to Facebook, you
Yeah.
can. I made a Facebook group, Open Sim
Oh,
Film
yeah.
Festival, and
Oh,
this is a good way to contact me.
yeah.
And also in Discord, I am in Inworld. This is what, yeah. And we will
Yeah.
see. I think we will meet.
Yeah.
I'm.
You find you somewhere. I
You will
don't.
find me. You will find me.
Yeah,
Yes.
I do remember. I actually joined in the week your Facebook group for the film festival. I'm pretty sure I did. So yeah, you show up everywhere, and you're on safari when it's in season and stuff. Anyway, so okay, well that looks good. It actually reminds me, I need to friend you on Discord, but we got you on the show anyway. That's no problem. Right. Okay, moving on from that. Okay. What I did is I went to Thursday's blog yet again, Itchy Safari, and did a search amongst all her blogs for you by name, and they come up in a really odd order. The Law of Loru, for example, was October the 10th this year, and then the next one down the list is something I think is about 5 years ago. Anyway, let's just you can. I'm going to run these into slides here. So I'm just going to click through the slides as we go, and you can tell me a bit more about them. These are also the slides from the piece she did on her blog. So it's similar to this is basically a landing place, isn't it? And technically, you follow the rainbow on the floor, if that's the word.
Yeah, that's good. Follow the rainbow. Yes, I was very happy that the AG Safari visited me. And I'm very happy that Thursday is so active here and with her blog and with this AG Safari. It's something that we all get in contact and that we can show what we do, our plans, and it's wonderful. Yeah, and in this case, it's Destiny Law. Law is something. It's a story. It's in fact, it's my story because I like very much to think about everything what is around me, about people, their thoughts, the behavior, and I wanted to show and to visualize some of my points of view, and it's not perfect. It's my personal point of view, and so I'm also happy if people say no, I disagree, or people say they agree. And I wanted to use the visual tools we have here in OpenSim, and also I also work with sound and interactive. So you have to click something or you have to write something, and then something happens.
Yeah.
Like I experience OpenSim. It's we come together and we do something together. We are not standing there chatting all the time. We build together, we have ideas, we have fun. And so this is a little bit, my point of view. It's a little bit of me. And also, you see the questions also. This was at the time when KI or AI was suddenly very famous, still famous.
We
I
got a
still,
picture. Here's James in this one, but I forgot that right. The one on the left is a real photo of you, and the one on the right is.
none of them is a real photo of me.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
This
I
is
just wondered for a minute because it's like it's the aging process, and some people would.
it's all Laura. This is one part of the fun. Huh? Fiction is
Yeah,
reality.
yeah.
No, I can ensure I'm not looking like Laura in real.
Right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Huh? Yes,
Walk
that's
through, walk through. Yes, this sign appears all over the place. Basically, you've got to walk through the text and then walk through the thing. When we get to my film, I actually ended up where I go into the sky and looking down, you realise it's just like a sort of maze. But we'll see that when we see it. And that was
yeah.
a nice,
Yeah, this is I have a grid, so I have whatever I like. I have space,
Yeah.
So there are several platforms, and yeah, I can do what I want. And this is so wonderful when you have your own grid. And in my grid, it's not a public grid; it's a grid of friends, and we all like to build something. And so I can build wherever I want in this grid. There are no renters who will
Yeah.
be very angry about me.
Yeah, of course. I like that little animated thing on the desk with her. Well, actually, no, she's not on the desk, is it? She's in the distance. I just remembered, but yeah, sort of. It
Yeah, I
gives
think
it gives the impression she's dancing on the desk, but she's actually in the background. If I
yes,
remember.
she is, and I think this is a very typical scene.
Those were-
Perhaps a German one, a good glass of beer, a cigarette, and your laptop.
yeah. Oh,
Excellent.
RL is calling. Shouldn't that say cigarette is calling? Sorry, be cheeky. Yeah, I said do there. Moving along.
Well, but really, Laura, I remember very well when I was with the safari. I think we were right. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
on
Yep.
your region, and I thought it was very impressive and very, as you said, very very personal, and I really liked it very much. I think you did a really good job there.
thank you very much. It's the first time I tried this. The artist in our family is my hobby, triad. Yeah. And I also yes, and he also experimented with AE, and I also use this picture, or this picture, for example, is made by Triad, by with AE, and I said. I think this is not art when AE is working for you. You type in a man with blonde hair. This is not what an artist is doing. And so I said, I want to take these pictures and I will make them art because I will change them. I will, in this case, I made a GIF of this picture.
Right.
And I use it to say something. I think then if you use AE as a tool, it's okay. AE itself is, in my opinion, not art.
These ones are pretty dominating, actually. Well, we see on the film actually when we go through the long tunnel, but you can see here actually the size of the avatars compared with the giant gifs on the wall. They come across pretty strongly actually because they're so big as well.
But I do think that the artificial intelligence is a really good tool to create something new with it, to get some more information, or sometimes things are really funny because I'm working now at this super region that is driving me bananas, the Machu Picchu.
Oh yeah.
And
Yep. Yep.
so for very many information, to get more information, to get an idea what things look like or might have looked like, because I want to do two things. I built the ruins the way they are today, and I want several buildings to get an idea of what they might have been at the time of the Inca, so that people might go there and just walk around and look around and get an impression. Of course, I have no idea what they were like, so I ask
AI.
AI,
Indeed.
and AI is delighted. It chats, it writes pages and pages and tells me, oh, how wonderful that we are doing that. And I get the feeling there's really a person talking with me. And I
Yeah.
catch myself that I answer him,
I think
him.
the more you put in the prompts, the more it wants to know. Apparently,
It's
I've
really,
I got to find time to play around with this
but
myself.
but it's really really funny. And so sometimes me and this computer thing, we have a real long conversation about some topics, and then he shows me some images and I say, no, 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 it's not what I want. I want it more like this. Oh, he says, yes, now I understand. And and
Before
he
I move,
knows. he gives me tips how to work in Blender, and it's really amazing. It's like having another buddy.
It's so interesting you
What I
call
want
it
to know
him.
before
You're saying him.
sorry.
Yeah, it's so interesting you're saying him when you talk about the AI.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's definitely a woman.
I don't know what, but yeah, I thought about it just now when I was saying him.
Yeah.
It isn't it.
Because I
I
don't know
know.
why I do that, but
Oh, I know many
it's
people
just
have a very personal relationship, especially with the.
really.
There's one called Character.ai, where people create celebrities, and you can chat with the celebrities, and it's quite remarkable. Yeah, historical people talk to Winston Churchill. It's amazing,
Yeah.
We're in the we're just stuck in the future already.
right?
I just wanted to, before I move on, I was just pausing here. I wanted to ask Laurie, this was a hit with Safari, the upside down dancing. How on earth did you defy physics?
It's not a problem. I only put this dancing platform on the ceiling, and then sometimes
That's you then dance upside down just
yeah,
because the
yeah.
You put some chewing gum there, and so
Yes,
the
that's- yeah. But you are in the room called subconscious. This is the reason, because there is no limit in your subconscious.
yeah.
You in your dreams, in your imaginations, you don't have any physical rules there, so we can dance on the ceiling.
There's no gravity because it's a big drop. Anyway, I'm going to move on to the actual video I took of when was it? Yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah. So let's move back to this screen, and yeah, here we are. Okay, so this is the longest film I took yesterday, which I managed to get some of the stuff I didn't catch on Safari. I managed to catch this time round, so you can talk us through it as we're going, but. We arrive in this deceptively simple place with just like the easel and the flickering road, and
Can I say something? Because I saw this picture of the landing point on the 30th of November. There will be an event in Pangea Grid, because Triad here has also an exhibition in Pangea. And so you are invited. I think it will be published soon.
Lovely.
Oh, cool.
We'll get him on to talk about that maybe as well when the time comes. This is a fascinating thing. When you touch it, it's very subtle. It moves, but you're not. Did I imagine that?
Yeah, and when you touch it, you get some wisdom.
Oh, yeah, and so much for sound effects. Oh, God, wrong button. Sorry, I needed to mute that because of copyright.
Yep, that was short. That's good.
Yeah.
I think you listen to the stream. I have a radio station. It's our Destiny Radio, and we are three. It's Geni and Richie and I, and we make we broadcast radio, and mainly for and in OpenSim. So, and for example, every Sunday at noon we meet and we talk and we play nice music.
Cool, I muted it and it's still here. a bit loud. I don't know. I must have. Finally moving again. Yeah, you can get the sense of this thing moving anyway. I thought I'd zoomed in somehow. Okay, taking my time. Now you can sort of see the bits of the texture.
Sorry.
Yeah. Now this is the thing. First time round, I missed a lot of these. So there's these balls all over the place. Pardon my language. And when you click on them, you teleport out of that exhibit to another exhibit that's attached to it. And totally different, of course. These are physical exhibits, so you can tell us about this one. It reminds me of I had a region on, an offline region on an old computer once, and I had things like gardens and little miniature bits that could make like little film sets where you could sit somebody down and interview them in the garden or in some rocks or something. But there were only limited little enclaves, that would make for a good sort of set. But what I liked to do was hunt out other regions on the hypergrid that was similar, and then I'd sort of put a hidden hyperlink in that when you clicked on the link, it would take you to a completely different sim, a different region on the hypergrid that sort of extended the idea of what I was doing in the little garden or whatever. And it was actually a bit like this, using TPs as a taking you out of the enclosed part of the gallery and into the wider world, so to speak. Although I don't.
Yeah, but and here you see the technique, because I made some films and put them on YouTube or published them there, and you can see them in World here.
Right. Yeah. This is. This is nice. Some of it was a bit confusing because you'd I did put sound on when I was trying to pick up your sound effects, but then sometimes the music burst in, and I thought, oh, just see if this is music or.
Yeah, there is music, but this is a free music. I use this free music. You find so many and very good made free music. You don't need Britney Spears.
Right. It doesn't seem to want to get any louder on me anyway.
That's so
there
true,
it is.
right? Yeah. Lots of free music.
There is. I mean, I for HIE, I was running like a radio station, as it were, right through the whole 2 days of ambient sort of stuff and things like that, and it was no problem, just downloading from. Even from Spotify, they have some channels there that are made of free music, so you can play them online, then download the ones you want.
I have a question, LaRue.
Yeah.
When you design, are you designing with the idea that people are using their cameras, like Mal is in this video, camming around to explore the design, or do you see them more being embodied in their avatar and exploring the environment?
I like, yeah, okay, there are limits. For example, when this is a very close room,
Yeah.
and if you go around with your camera, you only see sky, and it disturbs the illusion of this room. But for example, in this ice section, why not? And this is something I really like people to do, not to run through this exhibition to look here and there, but to explore, because they are always hidden places. And I wanted that it is an experience for the people, not only watching, consuming, but experience what I wanted to show.
Yeah. It makes me wonder how many visitors to OpenSim and other virtual worlds are experienced with camming and moving their camera away from their avatar. I think of that as something that more advanced users do.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
I know on Safari, so even those will often say, if you cam out,
right,
somebody knew if I what kind of thing. I love the cameras, of course.
Yeah. I think it's a vital skill. It definitely is important, but I think it's something that comes later as people come into the environment.
But Laura is also right about when you arrive in that basic exhibition, as you'll see at the end of this film, when you view it from above, it's like a little maze in a box.
Yeah.
And it was more or less impossible for me to do it in camera. Yeah. I had to actually, that's why you see my avatar a lot here. I had to walk my avatar through the narrow spaces, and only then did I try to dare camming, zooming in with the cam.
Yeah, being a VR user, I often use mouse look to get that kind of experience. And that actually, with mouse look in a tight space, it's very easy to use the mouse to see lots of things in the small room, even small houses that Safari goes to. And so I can't emphasize the opposite of camming out or going into the eyes to get that intimate view.
Of course, the danger with camming in and out is you cam through things.
Right.
And you know how many of my films are nice wild landscapes, and I get stuck in the trees with the camera. You know?
Or cam inside of a person's head is that's
always
wonderful.
Actually, in Second Life, I bought something called a brain, and you wore it inside your avatar.
Yeah.
And they actually recorded landmarks of places you went to. It was like a built-in sort of intelligent system.
Oh.
It's simple, just remembering landmarks you've been to and things like that. And in your home, you could res a screen, and you could click on the screen, and the brain would tell you all about what you've been doing and everything like that. It's quite a clever idea. But the biggest shock came when, pardon me. People looked inside my head, and there was actually a physical brain, which was you had to, when you wore it inside the avatar.
Yeah, mesh bodies have those now too. A lot of mesh bodies have the brain or something inside the head.
Yeah,
the brain and the heart.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is that wonderful dance bit again. You moved to this is with the upside down dancers and all sorts of sculptures and it's a spider, help.
Yeah, that's because I'm very proud. I'm not afraid of spiders, although I'm a woman.
I'm not either, actually, to be honest. But I have a neighbor. Well, it's the daughter of a neighbor who I found her in the front entrance of this building, refusing to budge to come up the stairs because it was the tiniest of little spiders she'd seen. She was screaming for somebody to come and get rid of it before she'd come in.
Oh.
It's odd. I don't know. I mean, people have phobias, but spiders do have a bit of a name for that, don't they? I like this trick. They're basically different images changing there. It's you almost need to stay still in one spot for 5 minutes to see things like the changing backgrounds here, actually. But
yeah.
I really would like to build these statues. You see, I got these statues from somewhere in OpenSim. This I have to learn to make my own statues. This is a good project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they've been done in Blender or what's it, Unity. So it's certainly a mesh program originally. But they are simple because you don't bother texture. Well, you got to get the anatomy right, haven't you? But you don't necessarily texture, all the surfaces differently. So, but there are a load of them around. I just had a green lawn and I collected them, and these white statues all spread out on a giant green lawn. They look right that way, but I've seen a lot of bad ones, which does imply to me that there's quite a talent technique.
I think this could be, for example, from Cherry Manga.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not because this is her style. So I collected them and thought this is a symbol for something. This crying heart. This is also my symbol.
Yeah.
Yes, my heart screams. This is something what happens to everybody. Oh.
Yep.
As I said, this is a subconscious.
Excellent.
The other thing I still don't figure out is Animesh. On Tina's build, I picked up an Animesh of Paul McCartney playing a piano, which is great. In fact, it's in the audience in the studio here.
I saw Paul.
Yeah. But I tried to stick an animation in like the rest of our audience, and he won't budge. So his hands are there in the piano position. And I should have brought the piano as well, but never mind.
He looks a little off in space. He's thinking about something.
Yeah. I mean, they're all a bit like that, but the ones that are moving, kind of the movements actually hide it. But,
these persons. I made myself with a program, and I wanted to show that this has happened so often. You are really in a good conversation, or you're doing something together, and suddenly the person says, "Oh, I have to go. Whatever I have to do," and it vanishes. So everything is done, and you don't know when this person will come back, or you can go on with your chat or with what you did. Yes, and this is also not this, but the room behind. It's this big love theme in OpenSim. I talk with people and they tell me, "Oh, I met someone very nice. Oh God, he is so she is so nice." And 1 week later, they tell, "Oh, this is such a bad person. I will never." And that's it about.
Yeah.
Sounds like Washington DC. Sorry, don't know, but that's not particularly apt anyway. So, yeah, it's well, it always used to be a thing with Second Life, particularly, wasn't it? The drama.
Yes, yes.
I don't
Not
need that drama. I don't want that drama. I suppose it's very easy for some people because of the anonymity and the the remoteness of things. They don't worry about things that they would worry or be careful about in a real life encounter, which is a shame because it's as much a public place as anywhere else.
Yeah, and this is a problem in OpenSim. People think it's anonymous. Oh God, anonymous. I must go to your course, Tosha. speaking English fluently, and then they write something to other people what is so bad and so disgusting, or they behave, and there are real people moving the mouse and sitting in front of the screen.
Yeah, sure.
They pull
But
out a string of expletives and then say, "How do I say that in French?"
no, but yeah, sometimes people tend to forget that there is a real person on the
Oh,
other side of the monitor,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
he's been can be hurt or can be flattered or can be whatever by whatever you say. But on the other hand, I think you can also have really friendships and very deep friendships also, even in virtual worlds.
Oh,
For
yes.
love or for friendship, you don't need presence.
Yeah. Yes. I have a very deep friendship to Stormy, for example, and we met 2009 in SL, and we came to open Sim together. I never met her in all these years, but
Yes,
we really have a real friendship.
yes, that I think so too. I think that is absolutely possible. And
I've
I
always
think,
likened it a bit to, in the old days, we used to have pen pals when we were young.
yes,
We would write to them, and we'd often
Yeah.
never see them for our whole lifetime, or when we were almost dead, we'd finally meet up. But it was kind of, it was that other friend who you never actually saw physically. It was the pen pal, and I often think virtual was a bit like that with some relationships. You
mm,
you
mm,
meet somebody who you possibly never going to meet in real life, and possibly you're meeting somebody whose persona is somewhat different when they perceive
mm.
themselves virtually in real life. But it's that kind of commonality thing, something. Oh, we say do the same things, interested in the same things, don't get
Yeah,
bored talking.
look at my relationship with Lumiere, for example. It, you know, was about 10 years, not quite. And we talked. I probably never, no, I know, I never talked so much with any other person than with him. We were every night talking about, I don't know, from between 5 and 7 hours, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes it was, he liked to read or tell stories, and he would read stories to me, and whole books he read to me. And And when he died, I suffered like a dog, you know. It was so horrible, and it took me really a long time to get over it, you know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And okay, it doesn't have to end like that all the time, but it was
No, but
just really a very, very strong relationship, you know.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
could feel it, you could sense it, you could, you know.
I
Yeah,
do.
well, I had
Yeah.
a similar
Yeah.
sort of relationship until I can't remember now, 2020, something like that. Seems like a long while ago now, but
Yeah. Yep.
so we're nearing the yes, we are nearing the end of this one. What's next? Next, 17th. Sorry, I'm counting the seconds here. It's getting a bit. Yeah, I think my hand got tight. Oh, here we are. Here's the bit I was trying to think of. Right, so actually at the very end here, I just go up and I realised that actually all that indoor bit, you can see like a little maze there, you know,
Yes. Yes.
where we
So
walked in. And it's cheating a bit. I should have, if I'd known I could get that view, I'd have done that at the beginning and chosen that way. Then I could have cammed in, but it happened the wrong way around, didn't it? But that's sort of how you structured it. It makes perfect sense. It's just kind of a little maze. But I used to find this a lot there in early Second Life and things too, is that it's really easy to underestimate the size of an avatar. You know, you can't navigate an avatar in a cupboard, whereas in real life, a person could probably just fit into a cupboard to hide. But you can't do it with your avatar. You can just never quite fit the avatar into the space it belongs. So you tend to have to make bigger rooms and bigger stretches to walk on, so to speak. Okay. So we're Destiny. Okay, this is one. It cuts off halfway through, but this is one of your own, I think, from your side.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Yeah. I actually don't know where it cuts off halfway through, or whether there's there is. It actually cuts off at the right place. There's I got some videos that when I download them, they're like that. They've got a long bit at the beginning or the bit at the end. But
Yeah, I can say come
Actually-
and visit our Destiny
yeah.
.de double point or 8002.
Yeah.
And
Double
we really we have a we build this is what we do. We are all building, and you can visit every part of the grid. Everything is free. There are only one or two private places.
And you got the music just right for this one. Yeah, it's one of those things you have to be, you know, it's like Gina's thing, you have to be at it, you know. We can do a lot with film, especially for recapturing things that may have a limited lifespan, but nothing beats going there and moving around there like the real world. You know, you can look at 1,000 pictures of the Eiffel Tower and think how wonderful it is, but until you actually go there and get vertigo.
Oh yeah. It sure is worthwhile go there and
Yeah.
look at this things. It's worthwhile to camp, but it's also worthwhile to walk around because I always love walking.
Me too.
I do a lot of camping, but I love walking in the places.
I love the safaris where we go walking on a tour. Those are my favorite because we
Yes,
stay
yes.
together. And
Yeah.
when everybody gets separated, I kind of feel like I missed something.
Well, I often use the option click to follow somebody, and then when they pause, I then double click to catch them up.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, it just finished there for some reason. It looks like there's more, but it doesn't happen. So that's a nice ending there. Right, okay, let's move on from this.
well, I find sometimes the being so many people and everybody talking about something, it takes away my concentration a little bit from the objects that I really want to see. That's why I separate a lot from the group and walk alone. Just really walking
Yeah.
alone somewhere, or sometimes flying, but I don't like
I,
flying.
yeah, I often follow you in camera. because it's a good way, you know, and then you'll suddenly see me appear because I've actually probably miles away, and I suddenly catch up with you for real. You know? Or if I can pick them out, the host, you know, that's the person I would normally follow, you know. But no, like, the thing I never do now, oddly enough, is fly. I remember when I first joined Second Life, 20 years ago, how long it was, you know, I just, this is great, I can fly, you know. Forget Microsoft simulators, you know, I'll just fly, you know. And obviously I just got the novelty wore off. Okay, I like riding a horse, I like walking around, I like gamming, but flying.
Pet Love and I have been in Second Life, and we have a couple horses, and we go flying on our horses. What could be better than that?
Yeah, that is so cool. I have had some horses on a region. They they would not only the one that was in my possession that could fly with me, but when I would fly by him, even though he would just stand there and I was not sitting on him, he was making motions to fly.
Flying.
Stretch out
Yep.
the four legs, and I just every time I break out laughing when
That's
I saw
funny.
that. Yeah. Yeah, I also like, but I don't fly very well. You know?
Oh, the other thing is I don't drive very well. Anything.
Right.
In a car, in a plane. But even the boats I managed to sink. Crash up on a sandbank or something.
Yeah. But the good thing about the boats is that normally you can just go across the beach too, and it doesn't harm the boat. And you land back in the water.
I'm going to feature a little bit of the Tina Bay region for the end of the show, not all of it, but because I know we're all share an interest in it to discuss it. Which is a good way to go out. This, I've paused the film here actually because this is her region is called Solar Punk, and it's a paradise of creativity and sustainability. And when I showed the still pictures earlier that Trey Mango had taken in the Pangea grid, that was when I actually we have a little third for the Pangea grid, don't we, James? So we can show that. Yeah,
for Tina Bay.
The pictures don't represent the whole atmosphere of the huge region. It's full of details built with sharp skills. Advise you to visit Inworld and immerse yourself. Tina's work often consists of topics concerning dark current events, but Tina has a particular sweetness that makes her transpose the dark side of humanity into something light, joyful, and soothing. Which is sort of a bit like what you were saying earlier, Tosha, wasn't it? You know, it's the inner child thing and everything. So I'll let this play. We will have, I'm sure, especially if we can get Tina aboard, feature this on another show in more depth. But I know Laurie went to the opening of this, and it's earlier on I thought this is going to be our showcase region of the week. I'm just going to, since you've all had time to read that, I better move forward a bit. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that poster is just there in the area that I got to, and I think I followed a default landing there. And there is as usual. There's lots of boats that are quite cute in themselves that you can endeavor to. I did say I'm no good at this, didn't I? So now here is the proof. Very odd position I ended up in too. Maybe that's due to my avatar and HUD or whatever. But I soon got fed up. I managed to do a turn. I love the solar panels. I almost broke them, but I just escaped. And headed back here. So this is just like a few minutes of introduction here. That's right. And the main building here, before I started exploring the actual region, I went up the steps into the main building. Lots of little objects you can see off there. And I wish I'd have been to the opening of this, actually. The grand opening signs were still up. But yeah, this was obviously the congregation area for the opening. Lots of images there too. I was when you're exploring, especially whether you're camping or anything else, you know, you sort of turn around and then you think, "Oh, there's nothing here." Turn the wrong way, you know, but you don't know until you turn and look. Basically, there she is, of course, and these wonderful structures. As we'll see later, they're just coming out of the ocean.
I love this one.
Yeah,
The pictures with the three rather fat ladies sitting there and the swimmers coming up to the beach. I really think it's so funny.
I guess she goes a model of her there, and she's made a nice little shot against the. I think that's a model. I think it's an NPC of her actually. Not quite sure. Looks good against that landscape anyway. So. And I think as we pan around, we're going to. This is the bit where I nicked Paul McCartney. Oh, I nicked Zuki as well. Zuckerberger. I'm sure I'll find a use for him. I don't think I dare say what, but that's very emotive photography and things. I think that's Musk. Well, I know it's Musk.
Did you nick him? Did you nick Musk?
No, but I nicked this idiot. Sort of. Oh, I meant to get that. Well, I was filming, so I didn't do any. I can go back there and get that and find out what it is. Here he is, Paul. There's a whole Beatles wall there, and then McCartney with his piano, and it's fairly realistic face. It's got a cartoony element, but it looks like a waxwork actually more than anything else. And yeah, so this was where it all started. Oh yes, and that's it. I think I'm pausing there so people can get to know something about me, she said. Yeah. Yeah, so it's a good idea if you go there to hang out at this area and read these posters before you know, because everything else is visual and experiential as you walk around. But in this little area, she's done her best to describe what she's doing.
Well, she's really a professional artist, no?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Ideas come to me like the air I breathe. Lovely way of expressing things. And there she is. Yeah, so there we are. Close up of her. Just checking the other ones. Right, that was 5 minutes or so. Right, I've got a half-hour one there, which is where there's a Royal Mail sign in that building, and then you go out from it. And then there's another 5-minute thing at the end. Basically, this is where she tells you it's an expanding world and forever changing kind of thing. I was trying to figure out that dreamscape thing, whether that's something she's actually done on a mobile or something, or I managed to look it up anyway. But anyway, that really is that. I think. Oh, what's happened there? Oh, let's just have that instead. So I think we've finished our journey for the week, so to speak. Actually, we're not doing too bad on time after all that, but I'm going to hold back the Tina's the half hour of Tina's region, which is wonderful, absolutely wonderful, for another show. And it won't be for the next 2 weeks, I'm afraid, because we'll be here next week. We'll have Leah Lobo and I think Sun Tzu talking about OSCC, Leah about the talks and Sun about the performances and the arts, which I have to confirm, yes. I confirmed Leah, but I haven't had confirmation from Sun. And the week after that, we will take a week off from this stage, as it were, to actually be at the OSCC, where I'll be taking part in 2 lunchtime panels on the Saturday and Sunday. And then we will be back here with the usual spectacle, the supreme mess that is the Inworld Review. Never know what's going to happen next. But actually, I really hope it will be Tina, come to think of it. So let's start rounding up. Let's start with Tosha and James. Any other questions you have for Laurie?
I really thank you for the explain about your perspective when designing, because that's always an interesting. I'm trying to imagine what the viewer sees and what a participant will see, and so I love learning that from other artists.
And yeah,
Thank you.
I'm really delighted that you're here with us,
Yeah.
Laurel, and I'm very grateful for you to give us this somewhat intimate view into your life, which I think is very daring to do such a thing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your nice words, really.
And maybe at some future point we'll have you back, and possibly maybe even bring the partner you mentioned along if there's doing Inworld art too. Be nice to see. But yeah, it's been very enjoyable anyway, and revealing. So thanks for being here. Right. Well, no more questions, answers, or anything else. We're actually getting out of here early. Believe it or not, the hound hasn't howled for dinner yet. That shows what good timing we're making. Yeah, so don't have to run to feed him so quickly.
Okay. He's
Anyway.
behaving. All right.
I secretly threw him some pounds of meat.
Oh, naughty. You wanted a longer show, didn't you? You thought it'd shut him up. I would go on. If he doesn't bark, I just keep on ranting. Oh, I bark back. Woo! There you go. We don't need to howl anymore. I can do it myself. Okay. I might even remember my button. Okay. Well, thanks very much to Laurel Destiny, my guest today. Thank you, Laurel.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm really happy, and I have to say, please take part in the Open Sim Film Festival. Contact me. Don't be shy. Do it.
Absolutely. It could be very interesting. We need more films done in Open Sim as well. Bannister books of the other places. Okay. Thanks also to the right hand man, James Atlloud. Thank you, James.
Sure thing, Mel. Always fun.
And thank you to my, I was going to say left-hand man, left-hand woman. No, co-host, Tosha Tyran. Thanks, Tosh.
Well, you're allowed to call me almost anything. And you're very welcome. It's been fun.
You better
and very interesting.
Yeah.
Right, I still got to behave myself though. Almost anything, I think. Okay, and of course, it's thanks from me as well. So I wish you all a very good morning, a very good afternoon, a very good evening, or indeed a good tomorrow, depending on wherever and whenever you are. And we're out of here.